Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, a juvenile is charged in the murder of an 11-year-old boy.
And a preview of the exciting regional activities throughout this fall season.
Plus, Family and Friends Weekend at SUNY Oswego is soon. What this year's activities are.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brady Hauser.
And I'm Emily Carriero.
This weekend is Family Friends Weekend at SUNY Oswego.
And there's going to be plenty to do from Friday to Sunday.
On Saturday, there'll be a Family and Friends concert at 11:30 a.m. in the Hewitt Hall Ballroom. Next, the Great Pumpkin 5K Walk or Run starts at 1 p.m. Stay tuned for the details later in our newscast.
There will also be open skate in the Marano Campus Center. Ice rink on Saturday night from 10 p.m. to midnight following the first hockey game of the season. Both Saturday and Sunday will feature performances of the play Silent Sky and Waterman Theater.
And lastly, on Sunday, the Fall Day Craft Fair will take place. Once again, stay tuned for more details coming up soon.
The Great Pumpkin Run is back. Come join Campus Recreation for a fun run, raffle prizes, and medals for the top 3 times for men and women. In-person registration opens at noon, although participants can register online further in advance. The first 75 people to register will get a free t-shirt, and there is a $5 fee to participate in the race. The event will start at 1 p.m. and all the proceeds will go to the nonprofit Blessings in a Backpack.
On Sunday, October 19th, the Fall Day Craft Fair will take place in the Sweatman Gym from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Students and their guests can come shop for the fall season or get a head start on the holiday shopping season. Over 40 local vendors will be featured at the event, and there will be prizes at the door along with raffles and treats.
Hocus Pocus is this week's splash in movie as a part of SUNY Oswego's Family and Friends Weekend. Participants can relax with pool noodles or tubes and watch the movie. Hocus Pocus begins at 7 p.m. this Friday at the Lee Hall Pool on the east side of campus. The event is free for all participants and sponsored by Campus Recreation.
With October upon us, there are a lot of fun fall festivities to enjoy in the Oswego region.
Here is Gianna Cowell with the latest on upcoming events.
Tis the season for fall activities and Halloween treats, and there's plenty to do around the Oswego area. About an hour away in Pulaski, you will find Salmon River Falls, where you can hike, fish, see waterfalls, and climb down a steep 600-foot trail. Visiting is free. Make the trip to Marietta for Tim's Pumpkin Patch, where you'll see farm animals, enjoy pumpkins, hay rides, apple cannons, sweet treats, and more. Tickets are available on their website. At the end of the month, on October 23rd through the 25th, Oswego is hosting the Creepy Crawl from 6 to 9 p.m. at Washington Square Park. It will include live music from different bands each night, along with vendors, a rock climbing wall, food and alcohol from Canales, and a haunted tunnel. The event is free. Make sure to check out all Central New York has to offer before October ends. That's all for me. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Gianna. Police are searching for an 11-year-old who reportedly went missing in a landfill in western New York. According to the police, 11-year-old Jacob Pritchett went missing near Perryton over the weekend. Pritchett, who has autism and is nonverbal, has the police searching for his whereabouts. Pritchett's mother was transferred to the hospital after claiming she didn't have a child. A 13-year-old boy has been arrested following the murder of an 11-year-old boy in Newburgh, New York. While the reason for the tragedy remains unclear, the boy was found dead from a gunshot wound inside a home. Police managed to take the suspect into custody within 12 hours. While the police have yet to release either child's name, the teenager has been charged with second-degree murder.
A 76-year-old woman was killed after a major nor'easter swept through the East Coast. The wind carried a solar panel out of a parking lot and into the woman's head. This happened around 10:30 p.m. on Sunday, and as the woman was walking on the sidewalk. The panel reportedly traveled 20 feet prior to striking the woman. This is the only reported death caused by the nor'easter.
Emily, it might finally be fall here in Oswego.
Yeah, Brady, it sure feels like October.
With more on the weather here in Oswego, here's Storm Team 10 meteorologist Christopher Convis.
Thanks, guys. Yes, you are correct. It is fall finally, and we did have some rain today finally. You know, instead of saying rain, go away, we want the old man is snoring, but the nor'eastern is hitting the coast, which is bringing this rain that we're getting for out today. But don't worry, we're going to have temperatures steady throughout the week. And if we continue on to our radar and satellite, you can see, yes, this is our nor'easter that has been affecting us all day. A nor'easter is a strong, low frontal system that goes along the east coast, bringing the rain or snow. And I'll have all more in my full forecast, but first, back to the desk.
Thanks, Christopher. Still ahead tonight, find out why the Smithsonian Museums have closed.
Plus, an update on the first stage of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. All that and more right after this.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris.
That's my co-host. This is for making the East Coast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. But you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back to WTOP. I'm meteorologist Christopher Combis with your full weather report. Currently, right now, it's 54 degrees, overcast skies. The rain is finally drafted past us with a dew point of 51, and we have a northeast winds coming out of at 6 miles per hour. Which leads us to our song of the day, Rainy Days and Mondays by the Carpenters. Great 70s tune. Check it out when you get the chance. And as we go into tomorrow, we do have the chance of wind coming back. Around tomorrow at 5:30, we have the winds at 11 miles per hour, reaching up to 16 in the night hours of Wednesday morning. But don't worry, I mean, if you do see Mary Poppins coming around tomorrow, do not be afraid. It does get quite windy here in Oswego. And if you get the chance, if you want to do a bonfire, I advise not to. We have very low rain chances. We are still in a drought. The winds will be coming back, and the wildfire danger as we are high. We are still in a New York State burn ban. So instead of doing a bonfire, why not go out into the countryside and check out the fall colors? Currently, it is still patchy. Colors still haven't reached peak yet until next week, and you get more into the past peak Halloween week, but first week of November, the leaves will be gone here. So this is for the Oswego region. If you go into the Adirondacks, they are way past peak. Leaves are gone. Tug Hill, you might be around peak, but that's please plan where you're going if you want to see the fall foliage. Tonight, temperatures at 51 degrees. Showers will continue, possibly. Northeast winds of 6-7 miles per hour. And tomorrow, 64 degrees, sunny skies at 5 to 9 miles per hour. And as we take a look at our seven-day forecast, Tuesday, partly sunny at 64. And sunny skies still continue with that steady temperature around the mid-50s. We do get a chance of possibly some rain this weekend, so if you are having your parents come up for a family and friends weekend, please plan accordingly. And as you can see, temperatures do fall back into the mid-40s, possibly 38 for Friday morning, so we could be getting a frost advisory on that day. Please plan accordingly of bundling up that morning. But temperatures staying wise all the way up into the 60s, possibly into the weekend, and 6 degrees on Monday. That's it for my full forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Christopher. All U.S. Smithsonian museums, as well as the National Zoo, have closed down because of the government shutdown. In a statement today, the Smithsonian said that they would reopen once the issue was resolved. The Smithsonian's online resources will still be open and available to the public, while the zoo will remain closed to the public. The animals will still be fed and cared for.
Military paychecks may be on the way despite the government shutdown. According to President Trump, all available funds will be used by October 15th if the government shutdown does not end. Recently, Trump had promised that all service members would be paid. The money will likely be taken from the Pentagon's research and development collection. The Pentagon released a statement saying that they have over $8 billion from the prior fiscal year that could be used.
Emotional reunions as the final 20 hostages held by Hamas were reunited with their families across Israel. People cheered in Tel Aviv celebrating this milestone moment. Under a U.S. brokered ceasefire deal, hundreds of Palestine prisoners and detainees were met with large crowds as they also reunited with their relatives in the West Bank. President Donald Trump declared a dawn of the new Middle East.
Emotional reunions as the final 20 hostages held by Hamas were reunited with their families across Israel. People cheered in Tel Aviv celebrating this milestone moment. Under a U.S. brokered ceasefire deal, hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and detainees were met with large crowds as they also reunited with their relatives in the West Bank. President Donald Trump declared a dawn of a new Middle East.
This deal, this once-in-a-lifetime deal, nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening today.
On Monday, photos released by the Israeli Prime Minister's office show a freed hostage playing with his children for the first time in 2 years. Families say they never stopped fighting for the release of their loved ones.
Keep sharing your stories to policymakers. Keep telling us what do you think needs to happen and give us ideas on how we can break the deadlock. And we kept doing that. They kept open the White House for us. And President Trump has done it.
President Trump said that phase 2 of his 20-point ceasefire plan to end the war between Israel and Hamas has already started as he meets with world leaders in Egypt for a summit on Gaza's future and peace in the Middle East.
If you look at Gaza, it needs a lot of cleanup.
This is clearly, in my mind, I think in the mind of everyone in this room, probably one of the most important days for world peace in 50 years.
And we appreciate
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
It may have taken 2 years, but Hamas has released the remaining 20 hostages.
Maribel Gonzalez has more on the latest developments in the recently negotiated ceasefire.
Police are searching for an 11-year-old who reportedly went missing in a landfill in western New York.
According to police, 11-year-old Jacob Pritchett went missing near Perryton over this weekend. Pritchett, who has autism and is nonverbal, has the police searching for whereabouts. Pritchett's mother was transferred to the hospital after claiming she didn't have a child. A 13-year-old boy has been arrested following the murder of an 11-year-old boy in Newburgh. While the reasons for the tragedy remains unclear, the boy was found dead in a gunshot wound inside a home. Police managed to take the suspect into custody. More than 20 world leaders met earlier today and signed ceasefire deal for the Israel-Hamas war. The gathering happened in Egypt while Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was absent. President Trump was in attendance, and President Trump stated that, quote, that this is the day all of us leaders have been working for. The things we have seen in the past month have been unthinkable.
3 African countries have refused to accept Maryland immigrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia into their territories. Following the deportation to El Salvador, Garcia was brought back to the United States and is now awaiting trial on human smuggling charges. In Nashville, Garcia's attorneys continue to fight for his charges to be dismissed, claiming that he's been unfairly prosecuted. While Garcia's case is unique, it highlights the growing questions and complexity of America's immigration system.
When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, hear yesterday's update about global life expectancy.
And an update on a federal tax credit set to expire. Don't go away.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
Polly, sister, if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
surface is this?
Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh boy!
only on WTOP.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News.
In health and consumers news, new research published yesterday showed that global life expectancy is in 2023 returned to pre-pandemic levels, with women living to an average of 76 and men living to an average of 71. However, the University of Washington reports notes a concerning trend of North Americans aged 20 to 39 dying at a much higher rate due to suicide. A drug overdose that heart disease and stroke is now a leading cause of death, although researchers say that about half of those disease-related deaths are preventable.
Amazon is announcing that they are hiring 250,000 workers for the holiday season for the third consecutive year. The workers will fill full-time, part-time, and seasonal jobs across Amazon's fulfillment and transportation network. Seasonal workers will earn over $19 per hour, while regular and part-time employees will earn an average of $23 per hour, including benefits. Jobs will be posted until December on Amazon's website.
Americans are running out of time to claim a federal tax credit of $3,200 for their home improvements.
Jen Sullivan has more on what to keep in mind as the year comes to a close.
If you've made upgrades to your primary home this year, you may qualify for a tax credit that could save you a few $1,000s. The Energy Efficient Home Improvement Credit allows you to claim up to $3,200 for certain upgrades, but that tax break expires December 31st.
Now is the time for homeowners to take advantage of those and understand what home energy efficiency projects they need to tackle.
Sarah Riley works at the home services company Front Door. She says working with a contractor can help you figure out which upgrades qualify. This tax credit is broken into two parts. First, a maximum credit of $1,200 for certain energy-efficient home improvements like HVACs, insulation, and limits on exterior doors and windows. They have to be Energy Star certified. The second credit is up to $2,000 for certain heat pumps, water heaters, and biomass stoves and boilers. Riley says HVAC systems should be replaced around every 10 years.
We know from the U.S. Department of Energy that a high-efficiency HVAC unit can save households up to 20% of their annual energy bills.
To receive the tax credit, you have to fill out the IRS tax form 5695.
Make sure you have it installed and paid for by the end of the year.
Tax consulting specialist Travis Belton says save your receipts or get a certificate of completion. You don't need to send them into the IRS, but keep them for your records. And keep in mind, you can't get back more on the credit than you owe in taxes.
Not all the credits are refundable, though, so you may be able to reduce your tax liability, but not necessarily get the full money back.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Those eligible should be sure to make the necessary filings before the deadline.
Over the weekend, the Oswego men's soccer team hit the road to take on the New Paltz Hawks.
Here's Kelly C. with the full breakdown of the match.
Thanks, guys. On Saturday, October 11th, the SUNY Oswego men's soccer team took on the New Paltz Hawks in an intense match. From the first kickoff, the Lakers worked as a unified front on both ends of the field, communicating with each other and with head coach Dan Kane. They moved like a well-oiled machine, eventually leading to a successful shot on goal by senior Surexi Lindsay, bringing his goal count to the season to 2. The action continued until the bitter end when in the 77th minute, a shot snuck past goalie Kyle Rose, tying the score at 1. The final 12 minutes were just as riveting as the rest of the game, but no more shots were made. The game ended in a tie. The Lakers take on SUNY Potsdam in a SUNYAC match this Wednesday at home at 6 p.m. Be sure to tune in on WTOP-10 TV. Coming up in sports, after the break, Casey DeSalle will break down some of the weekend Laker action as well as what's going on in the NFL. Stay tuned to WTOP-10 Nightly News.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris.
That's my co-host. This is for making the East Coast Pop-Tarts.
It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. But you got censorship. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Casey DeSalle with your sports rundown. The Oswego Lakers volleyball team had a busy day on Saturday in Potsdam, playing 2 different matches. The first game was a conference matchup against the Potsdam Bears that the Lakers handled pretty easily. They won the set 3-1 thanks to Gigi Bazile with a match high of 15 kills. The Lakers lost their second set to the St. Lawrence Saints, ending their 7-game win streak. Lakers will head west to take on Buffalo State on Friday. Moving over to some cross country, both the men's and women's teams went down to the Houghton Highlander Invitational, where history was made. Junior Hannah Reichard set a record-setting pace for SUNY Oswego at 21:54.4 in the 6K. Not far behind her, with the second fastest finish in school history, was Elena Gaffney with a 21:56.6. The Lakers cross-country teams will head to Canisius University for their final meet of the regular season on October 18th. Moving to pro sports now. We are only 6 weeks into the NFL season, and the Tennessee Titans have fired their head coach, Brian Callahan. Callahan finishes his Titans tenure with a 4-19 record including the 1-5 record he had this season after the Titans drafted Cam Ward, #1 overall at quarterback. Senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy will take over the reins as interim head coach going forward. The Titans will take on their former head coach Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots on Sunday. Sticking with the gridiron, some sad news for 49ers fans, as Fred Warner will be out for the remainder of the season with a broken and dislocated right ankle. The star linebacker suffered the injury in the first quarter of Sunday's game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Since entering the league in 2018, Warner only missed one game out of a possible 122, so the injury was a shock to players and fans alike. Now let's head to Arrowhead Stadium for Sunday night football action. The Chiefs look to bounce back after that loss to Jacksonville on Monday. Getting right to it, late in the first quarter, Patrick Mahomes finds Xavier Worthy on the out route, and he'll get in for 6. He's going to get a little jiggy here and get a nice dance, something I definitely couldn't pull off. Moving to the second quarter now, the Lions have the ball on the 22 as Jared Goff hits Jameson Williams over the middle, and he'll race into the end zone to take the lead. Now it's Jameson Williams' turn to dance and get his name in the dance battle right there. Near the end of the half, the Chiefs are at the goal line as Mahomes takes it on the read option pitch. Cool play there. The Chiefs take the lead before half as Mahomes spins the ball and flexes on the Lions. In the third quarter, now Chiefs threatening again. Hollywood Brown in motion takes the touch pass from Mahomes, stutter steps and bullies his way into the end zone. Chiefs go up 20-10 after the PAT. Lions trying to answer now at the beginning of the fourth quarter as Goff finds Sam Laporta in the back of the end zone. Just look at the body control on Laporta here. Able to get those 2 feet down with the defender all over him. And he'll hit the celebration with his friends here in the back of the end zone. Later in the fourth, Mahomes drops back on the goal line and finds a wide open Hollywood Brown again to put the Chiefs ahead by 13 after the PAT. Hollywood do his best Lambeau leap here at Arrowhead Stadium as the Chiefs go on to win this one 30-17. But I guess, baby, now we got bad blood as a post-game scuffle during the handshakes break out. This one was definitely heated. What a way to cap off Sunday Night Football. The Chiefs improved to 3-3, and the Lions will fall to 4-2.
Thank you, Casey. Stick around for the return of a missing bison to a museum and more right after this.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
If you like action, romance,
if you're watching this,
and highbrow humor,
Surface is this. Floor. Minch did not legitimately put his head in the toilet.
there's only one place to turn.
No!
Tune in to new episodes of
Oh, boy!
only on WTOP.
P10 Nightly News. A museum in Denver has spent several decades looking for something that disappeared without a trace.
That thing is one of the museum's oldest residents, a 650-pound bison.
The bison disappeared around 1965 and has been missing for 60 years. The museum had been keeping their eyes out for it, but they finally received a tip and followed up.
Turns out it was at the Buffalo Bill Museum on Lookout Mountain in the gift shop around 25 miles away. How it got there remains a mystery, but museum staff are happy to see it back in good condition.
All this talk about Buffalo, I know I'm missing the Bills game. That's our report for tonight.
Be sure to stay tuned for Lakers Showdown.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.